from a fan's perspective, kind of try to play both sides here, I suppose. I did get anyone who went to a LIV event actually did report back on how much they enjoyed it. Like, it was different. It was a lot more fan focused. Obviously, ticket prices heavily subsidized, were cheaper than pretty much any other pro event, and the way that they kind of organized the event to be a lot more kind of spectator focused did seem to go down really, really well. But I think you're right. I mean, the buy-in from the players and the drive to maintain their level of performance would just seem to lack. I think at the end of the tournaments, when there were a few people kind of like dueling it out for the title, the competitive edge was still there. You did see that there was passion and kind of interest. But I don't think, even if the fan experience was really good, I'm going to say that not many people cared if the Crushers came through and won a week.
Yeah. The thing was the fan experience kind of thing. I was just think that they're trying to, like, with stuff like that, like, ultimately golf is golf, and the reason why you're there is to see good golf. Like, you add all that other stuff, it kind of like it's fluff. They're trying to just make it better in some ways, rather than making the golf better and the event better. They're doing all these different things to try and make you forget that the thing's not actually as good as it should be. And it's just a bit like, right, okay. My other issue with all the other stuff is, it's like with T20 cricket and like the 100 and stuff. It's like, if you need all that to enjoy the golf, you don't like golf.
Just test cricket only.
Purist.
I'd say,
if you need it all, you don't like golf. You have to be able to enjoy a good event without all that in order to legitimately say that you actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I think I can see both sides of it. I would say that there were certain things happening at LIV events. Obviously the walk-on music, stuff like that. The concerts at events. Is that kind of really necessary? Probably not. But I think it did show that you can do something different, like with a bit more of a fan experience, if you want to look at it like that. And bear in mind, they were trying to do LIV as a team-based sport. Yeah. So they were trying to change a little bit about how you probably perceived the golf event when you went. Yeah. And I think there was some good there. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, I'm relatively invested in the professional golf game. I like watching pro golf, not so much in person, but I like watching it on TV and all the rest of it. I think I might have watched maybe combined maximum an hour of footage in the last 4 years.
Was it the Anthony Kim one?
It was Anthony Kim. I think it was when Bryson shot his 58.
Yeah.
I watched kind of the highlights of that, because obviously that's cool. Whenever that happens. Apart from that, yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah, they definitely tried to do something different from a fan perspective. Obviously, going to a golf tournament is very different, and it is, you're walking around, you have to be sort of, it's good fun, but you're pretty sort of within yourself. Like, the thing about LIV was that you could go to a golf course and be a bit expressive. It was quite, when I went to the JCB in 2023 or 2023. Yeah, pardon me, 2023. It was just it was a weird experience, because I've been to 5 or 6 golf tournaments before, and I knew how they worked, and like going to this one was very different. And I actually, in the end of it, really enjoyed it. I thought it was I thought I was going to really dislike it, and when I got there, I was like, this is
presumably just like more relaxed and more.
It's just more like the players talked, that were really talking to the crowd, and on tees and stuff like that I saw.
Tell you to shut up.
We had a wee,
Hi, how's your day?
Like it's so.
Did you just say you had a wee?
We had a wee in the hedge with Louis Oosthuizen's caddy. Just chatting.
Sounds like pro golf.
I just want to say, I don't think that's part of your ticket.
No, it's not.
admission.
Part of the fan experience.
If you're expected to go to any LIV events for the rest of this year and pee with the players and the caddies, it's not.
That's what people are always saying at PGA Tour events. We need more weeing in bushes.
I wish I could just have a wee with Justin Thomas right now.
We were just chatting to him and saying how he's getting on and stuff like that. So, it's the more relaxed version of it. And
I really don't know if that's the promo.
We've gone off on a different tangent here. You would talk to someone while they were having a wee. Yeah. Because no.
Yeah.
No, it's the.
That's what LIV stands for. Speaking to people while they.
If you go for a wee in a toilet, it is eyes forward. You are focusing on what you're doing. You do your business. You wash your hands and you leave. Like you don't talk to someone while they're relieving themselves in a bush.
It's just he was pretty like he was all right. He was chatty and stuff like that. But
you weren't facing each other, were you?
No, we weren't facing each other.
They're having a sword fight.
Like 6 of the mates, and we were all round him, and we were all like in a line and stuff like that.
In a circle.
Anyway,
all right, let's
into the middle.
We're getting off on a tangent.
Let's just move on.
What I'm saying is that, like, you know, that as a fan experience, I think it has got it right, and I think it had it right, and I think that, you know, with things like just comparing it to what you said just earlier about the ticket prices, you know, the ticket prices were a 30 quid for a day, you know.
I think probably my perspective, you can kind of say if I'm wrong or right on this. I would say from an in-person tournament perspective, broadly speaking, it was positive.
Yeah.
From a overarching international perspective of watching it, it's completely failed.